Hello, and welcome to a very special Nerdy Cast. This is Nick.
And this is Tim.
And we are in Kansas City right now. We actually just made it in about half hour ago, all the way from Louisville. Indiana, and then Louisville, and then accidentally back into Indiana again.
And then back into Louisville.
And then in Louisville, and then once we got back across the bridge again, we were heading west.
Yes.
I think that's pretty much how it worked. We had to go in and out of the state a few times because Google is awesome at giving directions. So we want to talk about a handful of things today. We want to talk about the keynote that we did. We want to talk about all the crazy things we saw while we were driving. We're going to talk a little bit about barbecue, because we had some really good barbecue.
Delicious.
We waited in line for food, which is usually something I am dead set against.
I don't wait in line for anything.
Or the queue, as they call it in England. They don't call lines, they call them queues. Did you know that?
Yeah. I mean, and on Netflix.
Oh, and on Netflix, you're right. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we're really excited for in Kansas City. A little bit of a controversy at the NCTE annual conference in November involving a, 80s icon, would you say? 80s,
sure.
And 70s, I think.
Yeah.
70s icon, 80s icon, so stay tuned for that. And a very special surprise for us.
Yes.
What we're going to be doing tonight, which you guys are going to be jealous.
You will be.
And there'll be evidence of that. And then we're going to announce the winner of our contest that we had on the road, where we took a picture of something and asked people to give us a funny story in one tweet. And we have a winner to share with that as well. So we're really excited to get going. So, Tim, why don't you just jump on in and talk about the keynote? What did you think? How did it go from what we had started?
Well, we had the pleasure to keynote at the Greater Clark Connected Conference, which is in Greater Clark County School System, just outside of Louisville in Indiana. And we had a great time. It was Nick and I's first chance to do a keynote. We had the pleasure of planning it across the country together. It was good. We really focused on being connected educators. They're doing some great things with technology in Greater Clark County. They're rolling out Chromebooks to all their students and all their teachers, and this was kind of their big kickoff to get everybody excited and get them trained, ready to go. And I had a great time. I was a little nervous, but I think it went well. We had some pretty good feedback as we were going through. Brett Clark did an amazing job of planning the conference, and what did you think? How do you think it went?
Well, it was, you build it all up, the stress, the all of those things really kind of build up in the anxiety. I know we had both woken up in the middle of the night and had a hard time getting back to sleep because we were just so freaked out. And I really, Adam Bellows set the bar so high for every single keynote for the rest of the world.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
After ISTE. And then to kind of even make it worse, we had an 11-year-old do a pre-keynote ahead of us, a 10-minute little I'm super awesome and I use technology and you should use technology.
He was smart,
funny,
handsome, dressed better than us.
Way better than us. And we had to follow that. I think someone said the only way it could have been worse if he would have been holding a cute puppy.
But he did have a video of a baby, so we it's pretty close. We were a little nervous after he was done that we couldn't.
But like most presentations I think I've ever done, it's always a matter of once you get rolling, you just go. Like it's just bam, you get into the groove of it, and the next thing you know, the hour is gone, and people are clapping, and you're just hoping it's not pity applause.
We actually ran out of time. Like it was went well, which was a good thing.
Yeah, I would guarantee that at least there were some pity laughs, because I've given pity laughs at keynotes before. And I felt there was a couple, I think, for me. Like, oh, isn't he cute? He's on stage and he thinks he's funny.
Yeah, and some of my biggest jokes, there was no laughter. So
yeah,
that's okay.
And the things that they did laugh were not jokes and hurt our feelings. So
if you're catch the video of it on YouTube, at some point you'll see a single tear trickle down my face.
It's at teachercast.tv. And if Tim and I can find the time in this trip, what we're actually going to do is play the recording and then give director's commentary.
Mm-hmm. It'll be like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
We will heckle ourselves, and it'll probably get really passive aggressive as I say things about Tim, and Tim says things about me.
It'll be good.
Stay tuned. We have 8.5 hour chunks of time to drive, so it's completely safe, obviously, to do a commentary on a video that we were keynoting in. So
I think that'll be good.
It'll be good. So no, the keynote was fun, and the teachers, they were great. They went to a conference on a Thursday, and they see students on Monday,
which I could not believe they started school so soon.
Yeah, and I mean, and they were ready to go. They were excited. The teachers from Indiana that came to this event were just awesome people, and
it was great. And not just the teachers, but there were school board members there. The superintendent was there. It was great to see the entire district taking the lead on this.
Yeah, it was. I think it was powerful for them, and it was cool to have Kyle Pace, Shelley Terrell, Tom Whitby was there. His Hawaiian shirt and mustache showed up as well. I believe they got their own room as part of the contract. So it was really kind of a great situation to have a tremendous group of connected educators talk about the value of being connected. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of teachers walked away feeling pretty good. The Twitter feed looked great. A lot of people were sharing and connecting, and we had an awesome panel at the end, and lots of great gifts were given out. Shout outs to Evernote, Doxy, Idea Paint, Scans, Snap, Fujitsu Scan Snap, LiveScribe,
Simple K12.
Simple K12. Oh, geez, am I forgetting anyone? As my brain's fried from 8 hours in the car. They were all great. They were all super awesome to donate prizes and for the EduTour. So we gave those out, and there were a lot of happy people to get some really cool swag as well. So Tim took the 6 hours of the first leg. He just kind of took it. I was like, okay.
Like Jesus, I took the wheel.
Some people just turned us off.
It's okay.
I think it's all the Jesus billboard signs that we saw.
There's a lot here.
There are a lot along the way. And I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's bad, people.
It's just an observation.
It is an observation. I unfortunately did not have my Bible with me to look up all of the Bible verses that were up on the billboards to find out.
And the ones that were spray painted on billboards.
And the ones that were spray painted on billboards. It's just interesting. I don't get a lot of that in Michigan, and I don't know about North Carolina.
No, I haven't. I mean, maybe it's around. It was not around where I live.
But besides that, you were driving, so I had an opportunity to kind of, watch the Twitter feed, kind of get some feedback, and, read some things. And I think one of the weirdest things I saw, it was on Cracked, that someone discovered a type of sea urchin on eBay.
Yeah.
It was unclassified, and some scientist was perusing eBay
for sea urchins, which apparently is a thing. Like, people buy them on eBay. Yes. I didn't know.
And he found one, and it was a brand new species. So I was like, that's interesting.
But I thought it was kind of, he named it after himself, which the guy who actually put it on eBay really discovered it. So, but I should have known better.
I didn't think that was actually pretty cool. But, that was actually kind of neat. That was really exciting. I think one of the weirder things that we saw was a tremendous amount of subways.
Yes. Now, a few years ago, I traveled across the country from North Carolina to Colorado. We did it in 2 days. I don't recommend that one. But we ate Subway for just about every meal because they're everywhere. And fun fact, there's actually more Subways in the United States than McDonald's.
That's true.
I'm not sure if that's fun, but I thought it was fun. So.
But they were all, they were all over the place.
So Nick decided we should play Slug Bug with Subways. But it wasn't just Subways, it was like any reference towards Subway. So, probably goes without saying, my right arm is a little bruised and hurts a bit because I just wasn't paying attention. Well, I was paying attention because I was driving, but I was watching, the road, not the signs on the
side. There were over 30 Subways to be counted, and it was 2 punches if you saw the building and only 1 punch if you saw the sign.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as the navigator, I was just sitting back, just looking out, which is really jerky. But we were on a section of highway you're gonna be on this highway for 6 hours.
Yeah.
There's no turns; it's just straight. And then when I took over driving, I apparently got on the International Speedway of Kansas City because the speed limit was 60.
Uh-huh.
And, I try to stay around the speed limit, especially when you have an out-of-town car, to get pulled over. But I was still going 70. I was being passed by cars. And then on top of that, when I started to speed up, I hit 80, which I didn't feel comfortable doing. But I was being passed by cars going like 85. Like, I was impeding traffic at one. It was 2 lanes. It was insane how quickly people drive. I don't know what people are so excited about to get to in Kansas City.
Well, and that brings up another interesting observation. The streets everywhere were packed. Like, middle of the day on Friday. I don't know where on the way out of city. Like, where's everybody going?
Exactly.
It's 10:30. I don't know what you all have to do, but everybody's going somewhere right now.
I know, but it was cool. For the first time, I crossed the Mississippi River in a car. I've never crossed the Mississippi River, so that was cool. I checked in, so I'm basically like Huck Finn. I don't know if that makes you Jim or not.
Maybe,
I don't know. Or you were driving. I don't know. Jim drove the raft. So does it make me or you Jim and Huck? I don't know. But I did it. So there, literary world. I basically done Huck Finn.
That's impressive.
As an English teacher, I felt it was important to cross off the list. But we went to St. Louis and we ate food.
We didn't get to the arch, but we did see it.
We drove by. I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
I checked in at it. That counts, right? Alec Koros. It's the same B in there.
I didn't check. I was driving. I couldn't really be checking in places. But
the EduTour checked in.
Yes, that's right.
We both
did check in.
We both
totally
checked
counts.
in. So we didn't get to go to the arch, but we got to go to a recommended place. We went to Pappy's Smokehouse.
Pappy's Smokehouse, yes. That was recommended by many people on the Twitter, on the interwebs. And so we got there 30 minutes before it opened. And we were like, oh, I guess we'll just hang out. There was already a line outside when we pulled in, which was, we were like, oh, we must be in the right place.
Yep.
We had, reminiscence of the Fisherman's Porch brunch episode of Portlandia.
Yes.
So we got in line. We're like, oh, there's like 30 people in front of us. We'll be fine. Well, then once we get inside, it turned into like a Disneyland line where you like weave back and forth. And then we had looked in another room. There was another line, another room. So,
but by the time from when we got into the line until when we finished our food, it was only like an hour and 15 minutes.
Which is perfect.
Like, I mean, they obviously had all of the... I mean, you ordered it... From when we ordered till when we got our food, it was less than, like, 3 minutes. Yeah. Because the ribs are cooked.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice
it was
barbecue.
Just... I want a half slab of ribs and some sides. They're ready until it plopped on the plate and given to us. And the food was phenomenal.
It was delicious. So, shout out to Pappy's.
In St. Louis, I mean, there is a reason why all of those famous celebrities, including... the great Pauly Shore signed
Pauly Shore ate there.
Their menus, and they stapled them up to the wall.
They, oddly enough, did not ask for the Edu Bros to sign a menu and staple it to the wall, which I thought was odd.
I felt a little hurt, but the food was so good, I overlooked the slight. I felt it was okay. I ordered just a short stack and had a side of...
a half rack.
What did I say? A short stack?
We got pancakes,
We got pancakes. They barbecued the hell out of those pancakes. They were so good. I had half slab of ribs and potato salad and baked beans. The baked beans were a little bit spicy, which I liked.
I liked them, too.
And a Fritz's root beer.
Yeah.
Which was good. Local, root beer. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You had some sides, but you got confused and scared when you were ordering.
I panicked when I ordered my meal, and I was a little worried the lady was going to soup Nazi me because, like, there was, hundreds of people behind us in line.
It's easy.
And I fumbled on my sides. I thought she was going to be like, nope, out of line, no ribs for you. But fortunately, we cracked a joke, and she thought we were hilarious, which we are.
He ordered green beans, but then he wanted baked beans, but his brain couldn't compute that he'd already ordered beans.
2 different kinds of beans that have really nothing to do with each other. One's baked, one's green. They don't even look the same. And I don't know. And then I looked up to the menu trying to find the sides to refresh my memory, and it wasn't available. And
But yeah, she was just, at first you can see that she was a little annoyed, but then we cracked a joke, and then she's like, okay, you guys are fine. You can stay and eat.
The lady asking, trying to seat people too, we had her rolling.
Yeah, she was pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
We
She's
said,
like,
we want a long table, please, for 2.
She asked, you sit at the, the little half table next to the window.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we would like a giant table just for us 2, please.
We eat with our elbows
Obviously, you're not busy today. She thought that was good times because clearly people really probably do request that, and she wants to just hit her head against the wall.
Just stab them. You can actually follow like everything that we're eating. We're and I'm using it for the first time. So is Tim. I'm using Evernote Foods app. It's just Evernote Food. You can download it, and what you can do, among other things, is you can take pictures of your meals and basically just record where you were, what you ate, and your thoughts about it.
Did you not like it?
So yeah, and things like that. You can share it out, and what we did was we created public links on our EduTour2013.com site under the Follow Us. You can go and check it out and actually see what we're eating. We're taking pictures of things like that, and leaving comments. And we had some really awesome pizza.
Yeah.
In Jeffersonville.
Yeah, Rockies.
Rockies was really good, and then we had okay food. I'm not gonna lie at that
dinner.
Buckhead.
If you're in the area, go to Rockies.
Yeah,
for the
they're
pizza.
like right next to each other. The pizza was phenomenal. We had this great beer samplers.
We had flights of beer.
You had this whiskey bourbon,
Kentucky
bourbon beer.
Barrel ale.
I hated it. Tim loved it.
It was amazing.
I had some really good fruity, grapefruit one, and so I wrote it all down. I took pictures, and so if you're curious and like food and are visiting any of these places and want to see where we're eating, we're documenting everything. You can see the pretzel from Aunt Annie's or Auntie Anne's that I ate at the airport.
Oh,
if you
fantastic.
want, I took a picture of that because it was awesome.
And also, if you're following us on Twitter and on Facebook and see where we're going, please recommend places to eat because we have no idea.
Yeah, we're in Kansas City. We're gonna get some barbecue. We've got Kyle Pace here. We're going to a baseball game tonight, minor leaguer.
With his lovely wife is also going with
she's
us.
Pretty awesome.
She makes amazing treats.
It's his mom making
cookies. Well, his mom makes great cookies, but at ISTE, all those treats in the kitchen were from his wife.
Oh, I thought that was mom.
No, it was his wife. She made cookies.
Oh, I love
She made
eating...
these chocolate chip cookie dough brownies that they're just as amazing.
Oh,
I
saw the scene.
And all those
I love
dipped in
eating
chocolate.
Kyle's mom's cookies. And I just assumed those were the ones from San Diego, the same type.
Unfortunately, his mom could not make cookies for ISTE, but his wife stepped up to the plate.
I don't know how I missed
Baseball,
that.
get it, stepped up to the plate, and
I missed that.
Made some deliciousness.
Well, I owe her a thank you because
you can thank her tonight.
I will. I was thanking Kyle's mom in my thoughts, and now I don't need to thank her at all. I take him back.
We could thank her for having Kyle. He's a pretty great guy.
He is, and I'm sure the person who taught him how to give such great hugs.
He is a great hugger. Not quite as good as that Pernille Rip.
True, that's why she won the award. But if it comes to birthing twins and being fashionable, Kyle Pace is the Edubro winner in that category.
Good stuff.
So one of the other things I saw on Twitter as I was scrolling through, I saw a retweet of something. You know how sometimes you just follow a thread just because you're like, what's going on here?
A rabbit hole, if you will.
Yes, and something had popped up about Tony Danza. The Tony Danza from the...
Who's the Boss?
Oh, I was thinking of the popular song, Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
I don't know if you're familiar with that song. It's fabulous.
It's good. Is that Elton John?
I believe it's Elton John.
That was a great song.
I believe it was first dedicated to Princess Diana or something, and then he changed it up. Isn't that... Or Marilyn Monroe, and then Princess Diana, and then Tony Danza? Mm-hmm. I think that's the chain of events. Anyway, so I saw this thing about Tony Danza speaking at this national conference, an education conference, and I was like, oh, cool, The Onion is doing something funny because I love The Onion. And as
They have great education articles.
They really do.
They must love their teachers because their educational satire is genius.
It's always fabulous. So as I dug deeper, it was not an Onion piece. This is real. This is actual news stuff here, so if you don't like this stuff, then you can turn us off. Tony Danza speaking at the NCTE annual conference in November. It's the National Council of Teachers of English. Now, I'm a high school English teacher, so this is kind of interesting to me. I'm actually a member of this organization. At least I was. I don't know the last time I renewed, so I wasn't. I knew I was for sure at one point. I definitely was for a really long time. Anywho, this, for me, was relevant. I'm like, okay, why is Tony Danza speaking at a national conference for English teachers? And Tim logically pointed out the reason he's clearly speaking at a national conference is...
Well, the reason I think they thought to bring him to a national conference is because he did a reality show on A&E called Teaching Tony Danza, where I'm just going to go ahead and call it Celebrity Teach for America. So they took Tony Danza, because in all those celebrity shows, they're not very good celebrities. Sorry, Tony, I love you, but your time is gone. So they take Tony Danza, stick him in a high school English classroom, and I think it was like inner city.
Philadelphia. It was, you guys keep talking, I'll find exactly what it was.
So inner city Philadelphia, we believe. They take Tony Danza and have him teach English class for, I believe, a year. I would hope it was at least a full year.
Philadelphia's Northeast High School is where it was.
10th grade English.
10th grade English.
And for some reason, somebody thought it was a good idea to stick Tony Danza in the classroom to teach. Now, Tony Danza, to give him some credit, he does have a degree.
A bachelor's degree in history education. So he didn't ever use it, though. So he actually doesn't have teaching experience, but he has a bachelor's in history education. Now, I can only imagine he received that at some point in the late 60s, early 70s. Because maybe, let's go late as mid-70s, because he jumped right in and he's doing Taxi.
Yeah, it was the late 70s. He did
Taxi in 78 to 83, and then Who's the Boss? Right after that, 84 to 92. And then he had, I don't know why in his bio it doesn't mention the Tony Danza show. That was awesome. But he doesn't.
That's right.
He forgot he had his own talk show. Maybe that's why he was his own writer for the show, and that's why he should speak to English teachers. I don't know, but he doesn't have. From what we're looking at the bio, it doesn't say student teaching at such and such a place, and it just says a bachelor's in history education. Does that mean he could teach K-12? I mean that doesn't. What does that mean?
Usually when you have a specific subject area for your degree, it's usually secondary. Like
usually,
my
yeah. Okay.
my degree was in elementary education since I taught all subjects.
So I'm actually certified in all of social studies and all of English. So I actually could, even with my degree, I could teach a history class. I did. I used to teach social studies classes, and I currently teach all English, but I've done both.
You could probably teach Tony Danza to teach.
I could probably do a pretty decent job at that. But I guess what I'm most confused at is that, one, he's got a bachelor's in history ed, and they threw him into 10th grade English, which doesn't. I mean, it doesn't cross over. There's some in the sense of the historical nature of the American literature texts, but I didn't get it. So I guess my whole thing as an English teacher is I love what I do, and I take a lot of pride in what I do, and it is not easy. I read the same books essentially every single year and have done so for a decade. And that has made me better every single year because I've been around class discussion for 10 years and listened to what kids have to say. And here's some guy that played, frankly, a poorly spoken former baseball player and then a cabbie in another one. And, hey, let's put him in a high school classroom. And let's see how and the show got canceled after one season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think it comes back to, my issue with Teach for America is you undermine our profession when you think you can take anybody and throw them in the classroom. And then let's do it for entertainment. But I think the part that I really get angry about is that there's real students in that classroom that are trying to get through high school and hopefully move on to do great things in their life, and you just gave them a year of somebody with, little to no experience or insight as to classroom management, child psychology, how those kids work, and then the subject itself you're supposed to be teaching.
So let's just be okay with. Let's pretend like we're okay with the fact that he had this show and he did this.
Okay.
Because we can say there are tons of unprepared people that are thrown into teaching with very little experience in the classroom around the country. Okay. They're misplaced. They're missed. There's no support. So let's say Tony in that situation is actually probably like a small percentage of actual teachers out there. Okay. Why is he keynoting a national conference for teachers of English? Like, that's my big thing. First of all, in his book recommendations, he recommends Twilight.
Yeah.
In fairness, he also recommends Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and he's also got Of Mice and Men, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Julius Caesar, and Animal Farm, which are all great American classics.
He also recommended...
hold on. I said American classics. Shakespeare and Orwell are not American classics, but, they're great literary classics, and that really doesn't take a lot of,
Yeah, that might have been on his syllabus of what he needed to teach
honestly, you should read this. Also on there, Don't Fill Up on the Antipasto by Tony Danza. He recommended his own book.
Well, to be fair, I'd recommend my own book if I had an opportunity to.
Like, if you were to write an entire book on the complete guide of Evernote education, you'd recommend it right now? That's probably what you would do. Well, I wouldn't.
Is the shameless plug light blinking in the background right now? Because I think it is.
No, because there was nothing shameless about it.
It's fine. All sales,
it was
but I get a
shameful.
percentage of your sales from
You do.
5:05 p.m.
Also, The Outline of
on.
History by H.G. Wells, he recommends. The first comprehensive history of the world.
But back on topic, the only
Which was-
thing I think he could talk about, which I'm sure is what he is talking about, is his experience teaching.
That's how tough it was.
But hello, we're teachers. We already know that. Like, you're not going to give any insight, and what are you going to get up and validate us because somebody who had no experience whatsoever said our job's tough? We know it's tough.
Yeah, we
people all day long tell us how tough it is, and we get it. But
Yeah.
no one seems to be doing anything about that.
And frankly, he's probably getting paid a nice chunk of money to do this.
I think I'm going to call for him to donate it to an educational charity.
Donate to that school.
Yeah, donate to that school.
Donate to that school.
Good call.
I mean
How about
honestly,
college scholarships for those kids.
you're going to get up and do an hour of, wow, your guys' job is tough. And this is what I learned. Great. I could have any first-year teacher come up and probably give an identical speech to that. Like, I had no idea what teaching was like until I actually got into the classroom for the first time, and these are the things that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I tell you what, a first-year teacher in this economy could use that money a heck of a lot more than Tony Danza could to do an hour keynote.
I'm sure he got paid for the actual show itself already, and so, yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't want to detract from his, acting career. I've always liked him as an actor. I've never not liked him. I've never seen him in something that I was like, ooh, I hate you or whatever. But I think it's that overall theme, like you kind of mentioned, where it kind of takes a shot at all teachers. Like, look, anyone can do this, and now I'm going to tell you what I learned about it. Like,
Yeah.
You're not going to offer anything new to people. Now, again, I will, if it's live streamed or something like that, or if after this NCT wants me a part of their organization or allow me to attend.
You just got blackballed.
I know it's in Boston, so it's not terribly far from me. I would love to go, and I would love to, hear what he has to say, because that's only fair. I mean, I'm criticizing him on something he hasn't done yet. So my criticism, I guess, really
is this choice to bring him in.
Yeah,
the
criticism is to the organization for bringing him in. You're gonna tell me you couldn't find any other literary person, an author. John Green is awesome. I love him. Have him speak just about writing. Have him speak about literature. Talk to English teachers about reading. Talk to them about writing. Talk about maybe something more modern. Talk about digital writing. Talk about digital reading. Talk about this shift and is print dead? Are books gone? Anything. And to have an opening keynote be someone that really has nothing to do with education, and especially since it's a specific English, like it's an English conference.
Yeah.
Like if this were ISTE, which I don't know if I would put it past him. I mean, potentially to have him as a middle keynote. Just someone to come in and speak. About education.
Share that story.
Yeah, share that story. I'd be okay, but
yeah.
Just because he taught a semester of English for a school in Philadelphia to be an opening keynote, I think is just a little much. And I know that's kind of a huge rant, and I don't know. I want it to be a discussion. I want people to talk about this.
Maybe there's a perfectly good reason we're not saying.
Absolutely, and I don't know how connected NCTE educators are, and if you're an English teacher out there, if you're an educator and you're curious about this, want to comment on this, feel free to shoot us a tweet at the EduTour or at the Nerdy Teacher at T Gwyn, to continue this conversation. I'm curious because again, only reason I brought this up is because I saw someone tweeting out to them saying, why are you doing this?
And what I thought was interesting was, again, if there was a real valid opportunity, they could have, well, this is why, but instead they just said, oh, well, we have other speakers too.
And the person running the Twitter account, I can't imagine has anything to do with who's being brought in.
Good point.
To actually have that information. So it was just interesting. It was just something in particular for me that kind of got, I don't know, it just got me going.
Yeah, we bring the news to you.
And then the more that I talk about it here, I got, as you could tell, even more fired up. I'm all red in the ears, and it's really intense.
Think back to how you crossed the Mississippi River today, and you had
the comparison to Huck Finn.
You had your Huck Finn moment. So that calmed you down a little bit. Think back to that delicious barbecue we had.
Oh, that was so good. Mm-hmm. It was so good. You seriously was.
But we probably should wrap this up because we have big plans tonight.
We do. Oh, geez, Pete's. We have so many things to wrap up before we go forward. First, let's announce the winner.
Oh, that's right. We need to announce the winner of our first ever contest.
First ever contest for this. We took a picture of a
large. I don't even want to say. I want to say parcel because that word's fun, but. A giant, large tarped parcel was attached to the back of the truck.
They were in bags. It wasn't tarped. They were in bags, and they were strapped down. Tim's like, "Get a picture of that. What do you think's inside of it?"
Well, my initial thought from behind was I thought it was that egg that Lady Gaga emerged from at the was it the MTV Movie Awards?
Oh yes.
No, or was it like the Grammys?
Yeah, I think it was
the Grammys, and she got trapped inside, and
pretended like it was part of it.
Yeah, but I originally thought that might have been what was transporting, but upon a side inspection, there were two distinct
humps.
Yeah, like a camel.
So we tweeted it out and said, "Hey, funniest response, 140 characters using the hashtag EduTour. What do you think is the best?" And the response that we got was the collective intelligence of most ed reformers. And several beanbags to fill in the empty space.
Excellent.
was hilarious. So that goes to Miss Step or at Miss Step. You know who you are because I know that you probably listen to this. That's presumptuous, but I just assume you will. You won a 1-month premium membership to Evernote.
Excellent.
So what you need to do is DM at the EduTour, and what we'll do is we'll send you that code so that you can. Activate it,
yeah.
Enjoy it, and we will be doing more of these. So follow at the EduTour, take a look and see when we're doing awesome things like this. You have a chance to win cool prizes. You can get Simple K-12 year memberships, more Evernote things. We're happy to send that for you because we have some great sponsors making this trip happen. So to wrap this up, we're excited about Kansas City. We're gonna have some more barbecue, but this will be Kansas City barbecue, which is I think different from St. Louis barbecue.
I
guess it'll be good food.
People take their barbecue seriously, and I'm more than happy to eat it.
So we're excited about that, obviously, and then I'm excited about going to the
T-Bones.
Oh, the T-Bones game, but I was thinking about the Negro Baseball Hall of Fame. Jeez, I don't think that's what it's the official title. The Negro League Hall of Fame, I think that's what it's called. And I don't know. I'm a baseball fan, and so I mean that's just something that I'm curious.
We went to the Louisville Slugger factory.
We did. We got bats. I got a bat for Leo with his name engraved on it, which is awesome. The guy actually took a tour.
It's like a baseball themed trip so far.
It has been, hasn't it? It's kind of weird. But I'm really excited to talk to people. As part of this tour, I'm interviewing people about education. So I think it's a really cool public place that I'll probably get a lot of interaction with people to ask them a question or two. Recording using my LiveScribe pen, which is really neat, so I can record and take notes at the same time, so I can reference it for later. But speaking of the baseball theme, the thing that we're doing tonight is phenomenal. I guess I'll just have to say it. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
It's the 20th anniversary of the movie Sandlot, an American classic. And they're touring around the country, and by the fates. The Sandlot tour and the EduTour, with their powers combined tonight, the universe might implode. But yeah, Kyle Pace and his wife are taking us to the T-Bone baseball game where the cast of the Sandlot will be there.
And there's a band, we can get autographs, and it's @_Squints. If you want to follow Squints.
Does he have a Z on his handle?
SQUINTZ.
I think that's
I believe it is.
It's S in the
underscore.
movie, but I think it's a Z on his Twitter handle.
Google it. You'll find it. It's awesome. He's going to be there. I think this is like a reward for either an awesome keynote or making us feel better after a terrible keynote. So
the Great Hambino is supposed to be there.
The Great Hambino is going to be there. I believe.
Will Benny the Jet Rodriguez be
there?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think, unfortunately, Hercules is with us anymore. I don't think
Hercules was a puppet. Well, you mean like the dog?
No, well, if the puppet is there, my head will explode. Well, you know what will make it explode? If James Earl Jones is there, I will have him record on my phone. Just Darth Vader just quotes us. I'll pull him. Read this list for me, please.
Thank you.
And if that were to happen, I would completely lose it.
I feel like he
I might
doesn't
cancel
need
the
to
tour.
go on the Sandlot tour.
No, but I would might cancel the tour myself, the EduTour, and go, we've capped out. That would be better than going to Skywalker Ranch, which we were doing. I'm like, I just hung out with Darth Vader. What do I need to go to Skywalker Ranch for? Like, what's the point?
To hang out with George.
Well, George, obviously. So we got to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and the energy to listen to all of this. I hope we provide great background music, sound, white noise for your workouts, your REM sleep,
Long car drives.
long car drives,
While you're sorting the recycling.
sorry, recycling. We do that. We do that. We do that. People do that.
We love the earth.
Or rocking your children to sleep with our voices in the background.
I don't know how I feel if like our voices put children to sleep. That could be a good or a bad thing.
So thank you again. Next up in 2 days, Sunday, we are driving to Denver.
Oh, so excited.
So that's gonna be another long chunk. We're driving straight through Kansas into Denver. So we're not hitting Nebraska or any of those other areas. We apologize, but it's just straight on through Kansas to Denver, and then we have the Denver meetup, which apparently is like booked full.
Yeah,
I think they
said over 50 people so far have signed up for Denver.
Yeah, we're really excited for that pit stop down there. So follow along. We'll be doing these at all of our pit stops. And again, we keep thinking that we'll do it on the road and just set the phone to record and then upload it. But it's way more fun for us to make observations than I think to do one of these when we get to our hotel
We might do
rooms.
some funny videos and stuff on the road, but a full podcast a little difficult in the car.
Yeah, probably not safe.
It would be. And it would just be us like singing along to the radio.
Yeah, but we will be doing things like that, like recommending songs for us to sing.
Yeah, please recommend funny contests, things for us to do to entertain you.
Yeah, send it to @the_EduTour or #EduTour. We have some other games lined up that we'll be doing in contest and a competition for the perfect selfie. So
that'll be good.
We're looking for some good things there. So we want to thank you again, guys, for listening. This is the Nerdy Cast, and I'm Nick Provenzano.
I'm Tim Gwynn.
And thank you guys for listening. Take
Bye.
care.